Hey, what's up? Chris here again. Check out my channel intro to see what the channel is all about, but you'll kind of get the gist of it from this video. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to talk about a comic that's one of my favorite that I have in my collection that I've had for a number of years. It's a one-shot for one of my favorite characters, Wolverine, and it's called Wolverine Killing Made Simple. I have a glare because of the light, but I'll put a thing up for you. Or if you look in the inside, it also says Killing Wolverine Made Simple, but I just call it Killing Made Simple. It's written by Christopher Yost and K-O-I Turnbull. I think it's Coy Turnbull, but I'm not entirely sure. But I think that's how you pronounce it. And it's one of my favorite books, and I enjoy reading it. And the reason being is because it kind of, a lot of people ask the question, like, can Wolverine die? And like, given the fact they're doing the death of Wolverine, but I'm not entirely sure how they're going to kill him. I have one theory, which comes from this book, but I don't want to, I'm going to try not to ramble on too much. Give me leeway, this is my first video. But essentially, in this, you see him describe of ways he know for sure can kill him, ways that have almost killed him, and like one or two ways where he's not quite sure if it would actually kill him. Like, it's that's one part, that's my favorite part, one of my favorite parts in the book. I'll describe it to you when we get to it. I'm just going to give you like an overview of the story and the parts that I like, because I would think you guys should pick it up and read it. I don't want to give away too much of the story. I'll just give the major plot points and the little things that I like in the book. So essentially what it is, it starts out, the Xavier Institute was disbanded. All the children were sent home. Like, they're not there anymore. So what's happening is, it's these two mutants, one named Nanny and Orphan Mega. Those two mutants, they're going around and they're kidnapping mutant children and killing their parents. And that's where you pick up with Wolverine in the book. And like, on the first panel, you kind of see him describing, like, he pretty much says, like, he's been stabbed, he's been cut, he's been tortured. Like, he's just telling you, like, he's been pretty much been through a lot of shit. And what I like, this is one part that I like, he pretty much says one surefire way you can kill him is if you take away his healing factor, and the adamantium on his bones will, like, poison him. He'll get metal poisoning, which I'm thinking that may play into the death of Wolverine, because I heard it has something to do with him losing his healing factor. So I guess that might be the reason he would die, but I'm not entirely sure. I'll read and review and talk about that when it comes out. I think it comes out next week. I'm not entirely sure. But back to this book. So what you see is, Wolverine pretty much gets a tip that Orphan Maker is and Nanny are gonna strike next at this young girl's house, who is Hope Abbott. She's a mutant. She has the power to, like, astral project herself out of her body. So you pick up Wolverine, he's outside the house, he's just sitting there waiting, watching, see if there's some shit about to go down, which it does. You know, eventually, I don't want to give too much away, Orphan Maker shows up, him and Wolverine get in a fight, and like, pretty, as badass as Wolverine is, he kind of loses, which it happens. And that's where it comes in. Another favorite part that I have from the book is, like, Orphan Maker's holding an explosive round to his eye, and Wolverine pretty much says, and then, like, Nanny calls Orphan Maker and tells him, like, no, bring Wolverine with you. He's like, fuck, this nigga almost kicked my ass, he almost killed me. I wanna inflict pain on him. But then she tells him not to, or whatever. And then that's where you get a great panel, I'll put it up, where you see Wolverine pretty much say, like, an explosive round through the eye, right to the brain. I don't really know if that would kill me. Like, that's what I like. You have points where he's certain of shit that would kill him. Then he has points of shit it's like, it might kill me. I'm not entirely sure. Then he also talks about the magic sword. If you get that, you can cut his head off. which is the one I think the Silver Samurai had for a while, and he also had it. If you read the run, I think in X-Men Origins, where the Wolverine Origins, I think that's Wolverine Origins. I have it. I'll do a review on that, where he has to like kill his son. He tries to get that sword to use it on him, if I'm not mistaken. But that's like one of my favorite parts. So essentially, what happens is they get captured. I'm not entirely sure if they kill Hope's parents or not. I think Omega did, because they left the house on fire and shit. Then they got captured, and you kind of get Wolverine trying to teach her, trying to build up her courage, and to get her to actually use her powers to actually do something. And this is where you get the conversation of which pretty much goes on through majority of the book. She pretty much asks him like, "Dude, you're Wolverine. I've been hearing stories about you my whole life. You're one of the freaking X-Men. You're invincible. You can't die. Do something." And Wolverine's on the floor, tied up, and he pretty much says like, like, baby girl, I can die. Like, I can die. And that's what, like, on the first page is where you see him describing about the metal poisoning. And throughout the book, he's essentially talking to her, telling her, like, I can die. These are some of the ways that can kill me. These are some of the times he almost died, like when Magneto shot him into the sun, or at least shot him near the sun, and freaking his skin shit was burning up, and like he says, there wasn't no coming back from that. It's like cool little moments like that is what makes this one of my favorite books. That's because Wolverine is such a badass, but he's not fucking stupid. Like, everybody thinks he's immortal and shit like that, and he lets you know quickly, like, no, I can be killed. It may be difficult to kill me, but I can die. So, the book goes on. She kind of finally builds up her courage, actually protects herself to help Wolverine out. Wolverine pretty much fucking kills Orphan Maker and then goes after the killed nanny. And that's kind of, I'll leave it there. That's kind of where the book ends. Because, like, the ship crashes, she gets a little confidence, like, oh, I saved Wolverine, and you pretty much hear him say, like, you didn't really save me. Like, at one point, because when she actually presents, her body is vulnerable, so he has to protect her body. And, like, he pretty much says, like, I would have survived that crash. I would have survived most of the shit. I was kind of protecting your body while you was using your powers, which is really cool. And like I said, it's one of my favorite books. I think if you're a Wolverine fan, it's definitely worth reading. If you always had the question of like, could he die, it's definitely worth reading. Then there's also another little story in the back, Disturbing Consequences, but I'll get into that at another time because this video is already running at like 8 minutes. I'm sorry I rambled on a bit. I'm still getting my footing here of how I'm gonna format and talk about things, but yeah, Killing Made Simple. Pick it up. It's great book. Great book. Great book. Great. Like, I really like the art. I really enjoyed the story. It's worth picking up, and it's just a little one shot. It gives you a little bit into the insight of Wolverine's mindset, who he is, how he is, and what makes him a badass, and what makes him one of my favorite characters. So yeah, check it out. Alright, thanks. Yeah, subscribe and like the video. Thanks. And if anybody has any other stories or any other comments they want me to talk about, you just leave it in the comments. I'm also going to be doing way more Wolverine because I think I have every one of his comics. He's like, outside of Batman, he's probably like my second or third favorite character. So, yeah. Alright, thanks.